Name Moon. Oh no! That's So Yee's husband. Okay. Seems like a good couple. Dear brother, how are you? Keeping busy, I suppose. Okay, fine. I'll read this one with you, but because I know he thought being a wife was important. So this is also less than important. How long is it? Pretty long? Cool. Let's do this. I guess we were supposed to read them all in order and then be just at block 6 for the end. I don't know. Maybe. How are you? Keeping busy, I hope. You said I could always write for you for advice, no matter how weird it was. So, well, calling you on that. It's about my wife. Okay, that's what I figured. Just gonna check in. Engineer. So Yi. Pretty much nearly almost could have saved the entire ship. I don't know what the hell is up with her, and well, you've met her. You know how quiet she is. It's impossible to get her to actually tell me what's wrong. I'm really worried about her and I don't know what to do. Here's some backstory. You know her. She's always been weird and introverted. It's charming most of the time. Ever since she lost her job, though, it's been dialed up to 11. I encouraged her to take up the science project of hers right after because I figured she needed something to ease the transition, but it's been over a year now. I thought she would have found another job outside of engineering, or better yet, decided she's ready for kids. Not just because of the motherhood credit, but given the extra hours I'm pulling to compensate, we sure could use it. I mean, it's not like I didn't know what I was getting into, marrying a girl 15 years younger than me, but the obsession can't be healthy. What happened a couple days ago really freaked me out, and still does. I get home at 9, as usual expecting to see her working on whatever it is that she's working on, or watching a drama or something. Instead, she's in the kitchen, on her hands and knees, scrubbing the floor violently. And I mean, our kitchen really is a mess. Everything in the apartment is a mess. I'd clean it myself if I wasn't so dead exhausted after 12-hour workdays. It looked like she'd put some serious effort into cleaning up, which seemed good, except actually looking at her, she really didn't look okay at all. Then she looks up at me, suddenly starts to cry. Be honest with me, I'm worthless, aren't I? She asks me totally out of nowhere. What the hell do you say to that? Of course not, I told her as immediately as I could. If she heard me, she didn't show any sign of it. I know I'm worthless as an engineer, or I would not have been fired. I'm worthless as a scientist, or my work would have received attention from people. I'm worthless as a wife, too, aren't I? You're not, sweetie, I told her. I got her to get up and sit on the couch with me because discussing things with her on the floor would just be impossible. I tried doing the usual thing where I hugged her, rubbed her shoulders, but it didn't seem to help this time. Neither did arguing with her. Our apartment is a disaster. If I were better, it'd be clean, wouldn't it? You are surely disappointed about that. I've been busy, I told her. I don't really understand why she hasn't been able to find the time, but I could hardly say yes, could I? We never eat together either. We rarely talk. This is the most we've said to each other all month. It's my fault, she said. Do you have any idea what to say to that? I have no idea how you're supposed to reassure women when they're telling the truth like that. I mean, I know I couldn't agree, but all I could think of to say was, oh, it's not, which is pretty lame. How long prior was the last time we even had sex? I'm worthless that way too, she said. Well, something's been on your mind the last few times we tried. It's okay. There's no pressure. Besides, it's not like we're newlyweds. That doesn't matter. It's no excuse, she said. Or have you given up on me? You've given up on me, haven't you? Is it just all about physical affection? New mute. It's okay. It's okay, new mute. This is why you're new mute. I tried to say something, but she cut me off. I really am worthless, she cried. And now I'm merely wasting your time with whining, aren't I? You're not worthless, and you can always talk to me. That's what I'm here for, I responded. It sounded pathetic the moment I said it. What if I started cooking dinner for you? If I'm spending all my time at home, I merely should be carrying my own weight. You don't know how to cook, sweetie, and that's fine. I truly am worthless, she said loudly and started to cry again. This is like a bad Charlie Brown skit. Sorry, this is like Peanuts. I am the worst! Wah wah, wah wah wah. No, I'm terrible! Nothing goes right for Charlie Brown. I was at a loss. And frankly, I'm still not sure if what I said was the right thing. It sounded idiotic at the time, and it sounds that way now, even though it got her to stop crying. If you know what I should have said, though, I'm all ears. You can help out more with the cleaning if you want, though. It'd be nice. Looks like you've already done a lot of hard work, and I really appreciate that, dear. And if you want to, or, I'm not going to complain. I stumbled over my words like an idiot whose idea of comforting his wife is telling her to clean up and have sex with him. What the hell? Even if it did get her to stop crying, I don't know, I'm bad with women, clearly. I can do that, I'd like to. It would make me feel less worthless, she said, and besides, I'm your wife. Then she wiped her tears from her eyes and gave me a really intense look. Do you want to? She asked. I'm not a young man anymore. It's not like that's something I've had in mind, especially seeing her like that, but how could I say no? She kissed me, and I got into it soon enough. Don't get me wrong. He's like, okie doke. If I dislike kissing my cute 20-something wife and her soft lips, it's just the circumstances, you know? Sex is supposed to be all about connecting people, but it just made me think I don't really get her. I have no idea what had triggered this. It's really hard not to think about what's going on in her head while she was doing that, and, well, if I know. Maybe it's not so bad, though. It felt like she had passion again, at least. I guess it's because she felt like she had to overcompensate, but she took the lead, guiding my hand up her skirt. At the risk of being too graphic, she held up my hand while I played with her and kissed me gently. It seemed very sweet of her. After that, she went down on me. At the risk of being too graphic. After that, she went down on me. I didn't really think anything about it while she was doing it for obvious reasons, but after she was done, she sat on my lap and held my wrist tightly, and it occurred to me that this was the first time she'd given head in years. I really hope it wasn't for my sake. I don't know. Her eyes were still watering at that point, but she also refused to let go. I don't know what the hell to make of that. It's been a couple days. Oh geez, she totally is. Now the apartment is pretty much all clean. She took it really seriously, I guess. I'm still worried about her. Even after that, we haven't communicated any better. If she feels worthless, is a clean apartment really going to make her feel like she has value again? I mean, I know she does, I just don't know how to convince her of it. On the other hand, I just realized the one thing right now that I didn't say to her. And I should go do that, so never mind, I guess. I don't need to send this letter after all, which is good. Because it'd make the next family gathering weird if talking to my wife just made you think of your old brother's manhood. That'd be gross. I mean, I sure don't want to think about yours either. Anyway, now I'm going to go tell her what she really needs to hear. That she should keep on doing her science thing, whatever the hell it is. That's probably the thing that'll make her feel like she's not worthless. If she believes that it's important, that's what she would dedicate herself to doing. That's less awkward and weird than household cleaning and sex, at least. I'll tell her that. I'll keep supporting her struggle with that. I think that's what she's looking for this whole time. Love, even though I'm not sending this name. Or that you love her, that might help too. I don't know if, maybe you don't. You don't have to. You've never really said anything to that effect, but, maybe just saying I love you, dude. It's okay. You didn't have to send it to your brother. We've got it right here. That's some intense voyeurism. Hella voyeurism. We're the best. We're the best at this game. You want to talk after that one? Alright, hit me. Seriously, you said she was your wife. But also you only met her 2 days ago. I don't know. You read that log file that the older version of me left. My awakening? You know that the one that was about her being activated for the first time after her memories were wiped? Kind of how I feel right now. I'm kind of scared. Like, I don't want to marry you. That's weird. I'm sure you're great, and I bet you're pretty hot too. I totally trust past me's taste in men. It's just, it's way too sudden. I don't even really know what that entails. I'm designed to be an expert on security, not an expert on interpersonal relationships, after all. Which isn't to say I don't like you. You sound nice. And, your job's kind of great. A space investigator all on his own. Yes, please. But, you think we could have a relationship together, too? You're really cute. We can be friends. Strictly security. Keep it on the DL. I'm gonna just go it. Let's do it. You're really cute. Ah, jeez. Thanks. I'm gonna take that as a yes, then. That was pretty much a yes. I just think it would be so much easier for me to figure things out with the support of a friend, I think I could make a good sidekick. Pretty much gonna be her sidekick, really. She's gonna take over my job. I can't even imagine what it would be like to have the confidence of old Mute, but until the end, even the version of me you knew had a lot of confidence. Well, actually, even in the end, she was confident in a way, wasn't she? Bing! I like that idea. She was hella confident. She seemed sure of her decision. It was a strong decision. I don't wish she hadn't. I don't hate her for it. Must have been hard. That's what I think. I don't know if it was the right thing to do. I'm certainly really upset at her for leaving me here, terrified in an awkward situation with you. But I am kind of proud of her for it, just being honest. It's a strong thing. But my point is, those two versions of me were really confident. I want to be like that. It's good to know what I could be. It's good to know that the old version of me was terrified at first, though. And, I think it would be good to be your sidekick. If I'm going to learn, I think it'd be good for it to be learning from the last person the old me trusted. And, maybe it could be like a second chance. Anyway, I'm just rambling. Let's get back to reading now. Let's hit the books! We got, 4 or 5 more? Alright. Pale Bride. It's translated the Pale Bride instead of Sick Daughter for consistency's sake. Ship sailed on getting that one right a long time ago. Apartment status. Bed is made. A few dishes need to be washed. Take-up containers need to be taken to the garbage. Floor is clean. After 2 years without any sort of breakthrough and dozens of appeals without any form of acknowledgement, I believe I have discovered the evidence that I need to provide definitive proof. There has always been a bizarre family legend of an eccentric but brilliant ancient Earthborn ancestor who saved his terminally ill daughter through unconventional methods in some tellings. She's a ghost that lives in the computer. In others, she is sealed away in an alternate dimension, to return when the ship has landed on a planet with fresh air. I learned the truth from my grandmother at the New Year's gathering. In reality, she does exist, and is merely in cryonic sleep in the family storage closet. Oh! I caught a glimpse of her at that gathering, and realized that she was the key to proving my thesis. Today I returned with my husband to their home, having offered her a great-grandchildren-related bribe, in order to have access to the sleeping Pale Bride to run tests. Whoa! Q&A, better known as the Pale Bride, Royal Consort, and Mass Murderer. Ooh! Good, alright. And your grandmother? Arranged for her marriage. She also married the former Counselor of Engineering. Wow. Earthborn brilliance. What, are men from Earth smarter? There's a joke there. Just not gonna follow through with it. My theory is, as she has not consumed food or water or breathed air in nearly 1600 years, if there has been a significant increase in ambient radiation in that duration, she should be significantly less affected by it. Her chamber was sealed partially by glass, so she may not be completely unaffected. But I anticipate that the difference will be readily observable. The technology involved in her preservation seems extraordinarily designed. I can believe that it came from the same level of Earthborn brilliance that built our ship. There is an idea of civilizations being contained for a long enough time that can slow down kind of processes, especially based on completely different political factors. Like what we've seen here is critical thought has been reduced to nothingness by politics, basically. And so there's an idea that from that idea you could pull out this new idea of Earthborn brilliance that built our ship. Kind of weird. While my husband was gracefully distracting my grandparents by listening to their stories, I set up in the storage closet, attempting to open the capsule labeled Kim Hyun-A, Pale Bride. This action was easier said than done. A separate, hacked-together computer was regulating the capsule, but the labeled switch for opening it was non-operational. It took a significant while to figure out that I needed to connect a secondary battery, and insert an override key to enable the switch. It did not help that I was very trepidatious to fiddle with the Earthborn design technology that was completely over my head. Accidentally causing damage with my clumsiness would have been disastrous. The warm-up cycle took a good 10 minutes. As I watched her, I became very aware of the fact that she was a real girl, a very old one. An orphan who lost her family centuries ago, who likely had her own hopes and dreams. So she's actually creating a new story. Found myself hoping that one day we would find a way to let her live the rest of her life. Although given the state of modern medicine, optimism would be sadly unfounded. Even after she was brought back to life by the machine, she did not actually awaken, going from a near-dead state to merely sleeping. She looked very peaceful. I tried not to disturb her too badly when I took a small sample of her blood. Still, she started to open her eyes, mumbling quietly. "Who are you?" she asked. "Go back to sleep, little one," I said, touching her face gently. "It's not time to wake up yet." "All right," she murmured, and she closed her eyes again. I suddenly felt guilty. I quickly put her back into the freeze where she belonged. It is justifiable, of course. She remains unharmed and will continue to rest peacefully. I doubt she will think of it as anything more than a brief dream, and regardless of any discomfort I caused that poor child, proving my hypothesis may be necessary for ensuring that society thrives until the future where she might awaken. Afterwards, I rescued my brave husband and let my grandparents pester me about our family's plans instead. I did not mind talking to them, and they discussed things more freely than the usual tone at large family gatherings. I was very alarmed to discover just how badly even the main branch had been doing over the past couple of years. Losing the counselorship, and therefore nobility status, has had a great impact on everyone, not just me, although I still feel my situation is worse. Hopefully, however... Too bad it didn't matter in the end. Yeah, bummer. Hopefully, however, the situation will only be temporary if the data received from analyzing the Pale Bride's blood sample supports my theory, and I am confident it will. It should give enough strength that I will be taken seriously again. Things may not improve in the short term. They will eventually. Of this, I have confidence. Wow.